Taiwan, I'm Reece with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's stock market continues to drop following one of its biggest single-day slumps on record. Taiwan's benchmark stock index, the Taiex, fell below the 40,000-point mark during intraday trading before rebounding to close down 3.76%. The sell-off comes as global semiconductor stocks tumbled, with major indexes including Japan's Nikkei and South Korea's Kospi taking losses. The downturn weighed heavily on Taiwan's tech sector, dragging down some of the market's biggest names. To learn more about the market's decline, our reporter Ai Chi spoke with Eason Zhang, senior analyst at Moore Securities Investment Consulting.
Could you briefly walk us through the key reasons why the Taiex has fallen sharply this week?
那目前的跌势原因当然在这个韩国股市这个成也记忆体，败也记忆体啦。所以目前的记忆体这个财报海力士的这个财报其实表现是非常好，但是股价这个由红翻黑由涨转跌所以目前的这个台股相对来讲也是被拖累啦。在 A 股市场有这个长兴科技的上市那它已经成为这个 A 股最大的市值网了。那也就是说AI 在这个中国市场也是等于是宣告全世界了，它加入战局了。它还不是最前沿的，但是它可以用价格战的方式所以呢，这个美国跟韩国的厂家来讲就看到这个草木皆兵的状态。那目前就算是利多的财报也被利空反映这个融资的这个情况之前过度使用，那这边就相对来讲就是付出代价。所以目前这个台股过去5月份、6月份涨得多这边就相对的回吐的多了。
Do you see the decline as a start of a long-term trend? What is your outlook for the markets over the coming weeks?
我相对来讲是保持一个审慎乐观因为台股今年你用大盘加权指数的 K 线用月 K 线去看的话，其实它是一个涨3跌1的一个过程，也就是说涨3个月跌1个月啦所以12月、1月、2月台股往上涨，3月份刚好碰到这个美伊的战事干扰往下跌，4月、5月、6月台股又往上创新高，那现在7月份又往下跌。我觉得这个目前的节奏其实没有被破坏，那尤其下半年又是一个台股越到年底越会涨的一个季节性的一个因素尤其11、12月这种消费旺季
Looking ahead, what market risks should investors keep an eye on?
因为这个目前的美元有可能在9月份会升息那升息的话，美元有这个强势的预期外资可能就会倾向在亚股当中来做提款了因为它可能比如说这个股价不动那万一美元升值，它其实就是亏损的。那更何况现在是一个股市下行的一个修正所以呢，它有更迫切卖台湾的股票换回美元，汇回去美国的一个动机啦。
That was Eason Zhang, senior analyst at Moore Securities Investment Consulting. At least 13 people have died after a magnitude 7.1 earthquake hit Japan's Kumamoto region on Tuesday. But rescue and recovery work isn't over yet, nor is the threat of powerful aftershocks, John Van Trieste reports.
As dawn breaks, rescue workers search for trapped survivors at a partly collapsed shopping mall in southern Japan. Officials are investigating whether a magnitude 7.1 earthquake that hit the area Tuesday caused a gas leak and a deadly explosion. Here, and at a paper plant where a chimney collapsed, hopes for finding survivors continue. All around the Kumamoto area, the earthquake has left its mark. Buckled roads and collapsed bridges, toppled buildings, overturned trains, even a collapsed moat wall at Kumamoto's famous castle, a sight that stunned those who saw it happen.
It was really something. It didn't fall down piece by piece. It came crashing down all at once. It really shocked me.
Prime Minister Takaichi Sanae says help is on the way.
Today, a task force for emergency disaster response, headed by me, has been established, following a request from the governor of Kumamoto Prefecture for disaster relief assistance. The self-defense forces have begun operations in the affected areas with about 3,600 personnel.
Japan is one of the world's most seismically active regions and is used to earthquake cleanups. Kumamoto itself had its last major earthquake only a decade ago. But Takaichi says the damage is extensive. In Kumamoto City alone, power and water are out for tens of thousands of households, and over 2,000 people are in evacuation shelters. Daily life for many here remains disrupted. The local Taiwanese community, boosted by TSMC's plant in the area, is reportedly unharmed. The chip maker said Tuesday evening it was gradually restarting work at the plant after making sure staff and facilities were safe. Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te has extended his concern and promised aid if needed in a Japanese-language social media post. But Kumamoto is not yet in the clear. There have been aftershocks, and the government in Tokyo warns more intense ones could be around the corner.
We ask everyone to remain alert for the possibility of further earthquakes of up to magnitude 7. In particular, residents in areas that experience the strongest shaking are urged to remain calm, closely follow evacuation information issued by local authorities through radio, television, the internet, and other official channels, and act accordingly.
With the cleanup far from over, efforts remain on rebuilding and recovering. Andy Xue and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
A second tech firm says it was compromised by an OpenAI agent that went rogue during testing. Modal Labs says the agent exploited vulnerable code of one of its clients on its platform. Modal itself was not hacked. This is before the agent launched a wider hacking campaign against AI platform Hugging Face. OpenAI has since deactivated the model and restricted it from research access. The case has raised fundamental questions about AI safety and cybersecurity. RIMPAC 2026 is coming to an end. Even though Taiwan is not included in the biennial US-led naval drills, there are ongoing efforts to boost the country's role in international maritime cooperation. Alan Liu reports.
Allied forces carry out a sinking exercise. It's a powerful display as RIMPAC 2026 comes to a close. Over the past month, participating nations carried out 2 sinking exercises using the decommissioned USS Peleliu and USS Mobile Bay. Around 30 nations took part in the world's largest international naval exercise, led by the U.S. around Hawaii. While stopping short of naming any specific adversary, the U.S. military once again stressed the importance of multinational cooperation.
This level of integration reflects an asymmetric advantage, interoperability with allies and partners that adversaries cannot match, and it strengthens our shared commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific.
TaiwanPlus was there for RIMPAC this year, bringing viewers first-hand coverage, from boarding the aircraft carrier USS Theodore Roosevelt and exploring warships from around the world, to watching live-fire drills and urban raid drills. While Taiwan was once again unable to play a direct role in the exercise, it continued its bilateral training with the U.S. In a rare social media post, the American Institute in Taiwan, the de facto U.S. Embassy in Taiwan, said the U.S. and Taiwan's Coast Guards are working together on maritime law enforcement exchanges, as well as search and rescue operations. Experts say the U.S. Congress has long supported Coast Guard cooperation between the two sides.
It had a Coast Guard component to do more with the Taiwan Coast Guard in terms of training exercises, helping the capacity there, and that was something that Congress put forward.
台湾不只是跟美国有类似的合作，甚至跟日本、跟菲律宾也有类似的合作，甚至我们也不排除，或者是我们可以很乐观的预期，未来可能不仅是台美双边而已，可能是更多边的海巡的合作。
Earlier this year, Taiwan's Coast Guard officials also told TaiwanPlus that Taiwan is working with the U.S. and its allies at sea.
我们跟美国有签署，我们有合作备忘录，那也是在海域执法、救生救难，因为救援无国界，所以这个都是比较单纯的。
China has stepped up its gray zone activities around Taiwan, deploying Coast Guard vessels not only near Jinmen but increasingly into waters of Taiwan's east coast. As RIMPAC wraps up, Taiwan is also seeking ways to work with partners to strengthen maritime security. Fu Hua-hong, John Su, and Ellen Lu for TaiwanPlus.
Over 400 Taiwanese citizens have been detained, questioned, or reported missing in China since 2024, according to the latest government figures. Taiwan's Mainland Affairs Council, which handles relations with China, says 154 of those Taiwanese travelers remain unaccounted for. Officials say they cannot verify how many may be held by Chinese state security agencies without formal notification. While 62% of confirmed detentions involve telecom fraud cases, they warn that Beijing's broad and vague security laws are creating a dangerous blind spot.
那里面如果有涉及到国安的，基本上它是不通报的。那这些失联的人有154案，我们现在还没办法去区别这里面涉及有没有到国安的人，所以这个都必须要对岸跟我们一起合作。
Beijing's expanded security laws target activities seen as supporting Taiwanese independence and allow authorities to check tourists' mobile devices on the spot. The US has banned imports of some Chinese robots and power inverters, citing national security and supply chain risks. The Federal Communications Commission says humanoid or quadrupedal robots could be used to surveil Americans or be controlled remotely. The power inverters raised concerns over malware and disruption to the power grid. China's embassy in Washington urged the US to stop, quote, smearing Chinese companies, saying Beijing would take necessary countermeasures. Taiwan has approved tougher penalties for driving under the influence of drugs. First-time offenders face a fine of $4,600 if driving a car, or $3,700 if riding a motorcycle. Refusing to take a drug test would mean an even higher fine of at least $8,300. Repeat offenders or people who cause collisions resulting in serious injury or death could be banned from driving for life. Driving while on drugs is seen as a growing problem on Taiwan's roads, even as cases of drunk driving have declined. A Taiwanese VR experience that won top honors at the Venice Film Festival is now showing in Taipei, bringing local history and forest ecosystems to life. Grief, nature, and tech intersect in a new experience exploring Taiwan's lost clouded leopards and indigenous myths. Adapted from Wu Ming-yi's short story The Clouds Are 2,000 Meters Up, the inventive work recently took top honors at the Venice Film Festival. Now in Taipei, director Singing Chen's immersive experience lets viewers step directly into the protagonist's subconscious as he navigates the loss of his wife, using pioneering digital techniques to bring Taiwan's landscapes to life.
它比传统拍传统电影的困难大概有100倍，对，因为它不是一般拍摄，它是所有的人物，包含墨子怡这些角色都是用扫描的，然后所有的物件也都是扫描的，所以这2年的时间，这个技术非常的新，所以团队等于说是走在世界很前端的部分。
That technical push created a vivid virtual world that resonated with international audiences.
我们在国外，不管是威尼斯影展或其他影展的时候，其实很多观众看完以后都会说：“哎，这个森林在哪里？”他很想要来台湾体验台湾的2000米的这个云雾带的一个森林，这样。
VR is often used as a tool to help us escape from reality, but the creators here are using these new tech tools to help ground us in Taiwan's history, environment, and cultural heritage. That cultural discovery takes place in virtual spaces that feel like living history archives.
因为它里面也是有很多标本嘛，像是云豹的标本，那这边就有点像是那种研究标本的研究员的私人的小房间的感觉。
Beyond the VR, history comes off the screen. Spanning 3 floors, the exhibition pairs interactive experiences with real-world archives. Following an international festival run, the joint production with Taiwan's public television service shows how digital tools offer new ways to appreciate literature and preserve culture. Alex Chen, Devon Tai and Reece for TaiwanPlus. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, today we take you to Libya's capital to enjoy the sounds of traditional Maloof music at an annual festival. I'm Reece. Take care and see you next time.